Alright, now that I've got your attention with that title, let me explain myself. For those who don't know, Nick Walker has been my favorite current bodybuilder since his incredible breakout season in 2021. That year, he won the New York Pro, the Arnold Classic, and placed in the top 5 at his Olympia debut, where honestly, he was robbed of that 4th place. It was pretty much a consensus that he was better than Hunter Labrada at that show, but I found myself eagerly awaiting the Texas Pro, almost as excited as I get for the Mr. Olympia, knowing Andrew Jacked would be competing. It felt like something special was coming and I wasn't disappointed. I think Andrew delivered more than I even expected. Now, I'm officially on the Andrew Jacked hype train. It might be a stretch for some, but I believe he can be a threat at the Olympia, even this year. I've also said for the last 3 years that Nick Walker is my favorite to win the Olympia every year, so now this Andrew Jacked situation puts me in a tough spot. I want to figure out, together with you in this video, who I like more based on both of their most recent physiques. Nick Walker at this year's New York Pro and Andrew Jacked at the recent Texas Pro. Front double biceps. You can't get more different than these two in this pose. On one side we have Andrew Jacked, who looks like a superhero with his perfect proportions. On the other side we have Nick Walker, who arguably has the worst proportions among the top Olympians today. Short limbs, a long torso, a wide waist, and poor quad sweeps. However, beyond these proportions, Nick might actually win every single muscle group if we take them in isolation against Andrew, except for the abdominals where Nick is strong as well. Nick has the best arms in the world. It may not be apparent to some, but trust me, if they were on the same stage under the same lighting, it would be obvious. Nick also has more detailed quads and overall better conditioning. But don't worry, this pose goes to Andrew Jacked for obvious reasons, though with better stomach control from Nick, it could almost be arguable. The front lat spread is an easy call as Nick Walker arguably has the weakest front lat spread on the Olympia stage, while Andrew Jacked boasts the best front lat spread in the world today. This pose might emphasize overall proportions more than any other, and in this regard, Nick has no chance against Andrew. Side chest pose. Now we're talking about a completely different story. This is the beauty of bodybuilding. We have 8 mandatory poses, ideally equal in importance, showcasing different body parts from different angles. Even if you struggle with some poses, you can always come back strong in others, just like Nick Walker does here. Since we're now focusing on overall thickness and roundness, Nick schools Andrew, especially since Andrew's side poses are as weak as Nick's front poses. Nick wins every aspect of this pose, except maybe chest fullness, though his chest still looks nice and detailed. Nick dominates in shoulders, arms, lower body, conditioning, and execution, making this a win for Nick overall. Back double biceps. Ironically, Nick looks more aesthetic than Andrew in this pose. He has one of the craziest tapers I've ever seen in a back double. His back is insanely developed, and he destroys Andrew's lower body with the details and separation through his glutes and hams. Andrew has improved a lot in this pose, but Nick is just too good here, so Nick wins. 76% of you who have been watching my videos regularly for the past year are not subscribed. I'm aiming for that 30k subs milestone, so if you enjoy my content and appreciate my work, consider subscribing, it's much appreciated. The back lat spread is a bit more interesting. I believe you can argue that Andrew wins in the upper body, presenting more thickness through the middle traps area. However, Nick has the lower lat insertions and muscle density in the lower lat area coupled with his lower body dominance, giving him a tight win in this pose. Side triceps. Nick Walker is very underrated in this pose. His chest and midsection look world class. He has a dominant side leg and his triceps might actually be the best in the world today, so no chance for Andrew Jacked in this pose regardless of his side or front execution. Abs and thighs. This used to be a much better pose for Nick Walker before his recent show, and I hope he can return to the look he had at the 2022 Olympia or the 2023 Arnold. After the criticism he received about his waist at this year's New York Pro, I'm sure he'll do whatever it takes to fix that. However, regardless of whether he brings back that look or not, Andrew is going to beat him in this pose. For me, Andrew is the best to ever do it when it comes to abs and thighs. Most muscular, there's no uncertainty about who's going to win this pose, as this is probably Nick Walker's best pose and Andrew Jack's weakest. It's similar to the side chest we discussed earlier. Due to his arm thickness, shoulder mass and overall polish, Nick Walker runs away with this pose against Andrew Jack. Now, what's the conclusion of this video? Every bodybuilder has strong and weak poses, and even though when you see the front double biceps or the front lat spread, you might wonder how in the world Nick Walker can beat a guy like Andrew. After looking at the side poses, back poses, and even the most muscular pose from the front, it becomes obvious that bodybuilding isn't only about aesthetics in the front double, even if that front double is the best in the world. I don't want to count Andrew Jack completely out against Nick Walker. We should all know that Nick is arguably the master of the mandatories nowadays, meaning he has 4 or 5 poses where he's very hard to beat, which covers half or more of the poses. But the thing is, in the other poses, he struggles to the point that he's one of the weakest among any Olympia competitors today, and that matters too. I wouldn't be surprised if Andrew finished ahead of Nick Walker at this year's Olympia, especially if Nick doesn't address his midsection or if Andrew comes in a bit more polished. I believe both of them have real chances of even winning the whole thing this fall, and to be honest, I'd love to see that happen because officially these are my 2 favorite bodybuilders in the world today. I'm not convinced I'm abandoning Nick for that top spot just yet, but Andrew is definitely growing on me.